in ages. Just problems with the water. Today is the 10th of April 2022 and it's 2:10 p.m, 10 minutes past 2, 50 minutes until 3. With arthritic pains and twinges in every part of my body. Part of it left over from carrying over from yesterday, I think, and the day before. So I desperately did another water test, subjecting myself to cold water. I managed to get hot water, I think twice from the kitchen, from the downstairs bathroom, I don't think at all, I need to check the video again, and from the upstairs bathroom, I'm not sure. Everyone else was still sleeping, there were no other taps running. I thought I'd figured something out, but like before, I think my theory was proven wrong. The digital thermostat said it lists two temperatures, so one was I think 23 and one 22. The radiator was barely on, and that radiator is capable of producing heat, so I don't think it needs bleeding or anything. Maybe it does, I'm not an expert on it, but my radiator is also up all the way and it is producing no heat. I was asking on Facebook, how can I prove that there is a problem with their heating into the cold water? You'd think that people like Saj and the man for Concept would stop and think, hang on, these people live here. They know the actual system, we're just walking in. Of course we can use hot water. What actually goes on when they're washing up for half an hour or having a shower, etc. I mean, the man from Concept was trying to be helpful, but this is my point. I'm just making the point that this is my point that people, they don't gravitate to that naturally. It's you don't know how combi boilers work. They take a while to warm up. What, 20 minutes for hot water, and hot water suddenly turning cold. Yeah. So I'm gonna have pains in my hands for some time. How much more pain must I subject myself to be believed? I mean, the other week, I think it was only last week, my housemate tried turning the temperature up and it seemed to do something. It brought the hot water back, just so I could shave and brush my teeth. Whenever he's here, he's looking out for me, he keeps turning it up, even though he's been banned. We've all been banned effectively, we're told by Jasheen as well, because she said, Saj will know about it if you turning up, implying we're not allowed to, the home that we live in, we're not allowed to control the temperature. See what I mean? The more, it's all about finance, that's the class system, not just mental health problems, but the less money you have financially, the less rights you have, and you're not even afforded the term eviction, which is bad enough, but they now call it exclusion when they push you right at the bottom. This is why it was so important to investigate supported accommodation. It really is a disgrace. They'll call eviction exclusion, and you have no rights. They can just decide you can go anytime. You can go. Never mind the carnage it would cause for people's mental health problems. Oh my goodness. I've already taken one painkiller today, but it hasn't done anything. Maybe it hasn't kicked in yet, but it was some time ago. I'm going to book an appointment and ask for painkillers specifically for rheumatoid arthritic type of pain, inflammation and stuff. There's a constant aching. I keep saying to Jasheen, do you think this is funny? Try washing your hands and being in pain all the time. What part of that is funny? She said, this is no laughing matter, when that's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm the one trying to get you to be serious. I'm trying to look for a Birmingham City Council's environmental health number as well. to see if they can send someone around to document. I've documented quite a bit, but I've got a very long email to Jethro from Concept Housing to see if he can help further. Lots of complaints. Gosh, yeah. I think I barely touched it. It was just touching it a few times here and there to see if the water was still cold, but because so I was in touching it for a short amount of time each time, but that's enough to cause agony, and having to keep touching it to check that it's still cold, and briefly it went warm, then hot, and it stayed hot for a bit, and then at one time I turned the tap off and then turned it on again, and I think there was obviously leftover hot water, and then it went cold and stayed cold. It was unable to heat up again, so that's my jaw just on it. So I documented that on a video, but it's still on my phone, so I cannot put it into this video unless I transfer the file. My phone is currently charging, but I may do that today. So yeah, I mean, it is not funny at all, and I wish they would grow up and realise that. And as I said, they sometimes do, as I was trying to say to Jashina, but I refuse to believe she doesn't understand sarcasm, because apparently her saying, it's a great insult to me as well to say that a great insult to my fears ethics to say that I would laugh at someone. Obviously I was making a point when I said to Jashina, it's funny how Saj is now around here. What does that tell you? That he's taking it seriously. They're trying to give her compliments or sorts, just naturally, so not for the sake of it, of course. Saying, look, just Saj is around here now. What does that tell you? And she said something like, this is no laughing matter. I think, oh, come on, it's like, I don't know if she's doing it on purpose or what. So I know she's extremely naive, extremely naive, and that's caused problems in support sessions with other people as well. But, I cannot believe she's that naive. I know she is, because as someone who broke a TV and stuff, she invited him back in and created this awkward situation. So he was at the front door and I was sort of in the kitchen, and she said, do you mind him coming back in? And he didn't ask us first, she already said, here's the key. She handed it back to him pretty much, or said, I've checked with Saj, it's okay. So basically, so you're asking us whether or not we mind when you've already decided, and obviously it's going to be known that we've said no if we say no. It's an impossible situation. Oh gosh, I cannot do any exercise for a while. This is ruining my machine. Was supposed to be getting ready for the 10k in May, 1st of May. It's the 10th today, so the 1st of May is not that long. Way away. Oh, my legs are so tender. I forgot what I was going to say. I have no idea what was I talking about. My mind's just going so foggy. I think it is the cold weather as well. What was I talking about? Something, it's all a blur now. It all just went out of my head. Oh yeah. So she's so naive. She just, it's more than seeing the best in everyone. It's on a dangerous level. And a senior member of staff, Nazia, she said, when something else happened, she said, I remember she was sitting in the living room kitchen with Darcy and myself, and she said, you know what, none of this would ever have happened if he had never been let back in. And I was thinking, yeah, and surely you realised that I never wanted that, but it was an impossible situation. Because of how she set things up, and she doesn't say that, she lacks that foresight, and so it's good that the senior member of staff said, yeah, none of this would have happened. So I thought she's the only one clued up, she actually sees, she can read people better, but then I'm thinking, why didn't you raise objections? But then I think it's probably because that phone call, because me and Sheen were trying to set up the Wi-Fi, so we were besieged with problems from the get-go. And Nazia rang her and was saying, "Oh, stay away from stage, she's in a bad mood." And then said something like, and she said, yeah, I know, as though this happens a lot. And she said the regular sound about giving him back his key, and Nazia said, have you checked with Barry that it's okay? And she said, Sheena was sort of, awkward because I was right opposite her. She just sort of said, yeah, everyone. She never said my name. She said everyone's okay with it. And she hasn't even asked everyone, just myself, if anyone else. I don't know if she's doing it on purpose. I feel like all of my reasoning, my intellect, my education, it's all gone out the window because of the stress. I cannot conclude, is she doing this on purpose? Because when you look at her, you think, no, she's not capable of that. She's not capable at all. But then when you get to these messages, and there's just a different personality that suddenly emerges, and it feels like gaslighting and bullying. It just does not feel like it's just innocent misunderstanding after innocent misunderstanding. It seems so calculated. You got to think, look at the person. Hang on. Barry, I've been defending Barry for 6 months. He's not capable of being unreasonable, etc. So what's going on? Is it me? Is there a genuine problem? What's going on? But instead it's, oh, Barry, you have no right to complain. We've gone above and beyond because you finally replaced the plastic bin, which you promised time after time. And I say we could have bought, but it was the principle and the fact you keep making these promises. You couldn't even find time to buy a plastic bin without without me bringing it up, and also being encouraged by another housemate. He told me you had to say, look, if you don't go out and get it now, it will never happen. It's just such a headache, such a headache. It's an ongoing headache. I just wish people listen. Monday's going to be hell. There's going to be a war. But, this is where I need to be. I'm in the right place, exposing what is going on. So I know I need to stay for as long as possible before moving on to the next chapter of my life. Just because I hang in for a couple more weeks, and I need stability for my 10k in May, and because hopefully they'll be sending the sort of fundraising kit. Sort of usually send like a chip so you can be tracked during the race. So hopefully that will be sent soon. Should get an email about it soon, maybe in 5 or so days time. Then I will be ready. And then June time I can leave and finish writing up my report. Also, on one hand, you'll stay forever to expose what's going on. Obviously, these are not ideal living conditions for even short term, but a house should be a house, and so eviction is eviction. Whatever you term people, whether you decide to term housemates or tenants, that's what they are. That's what they are: humans, people, living creatures. And it's interesting how language has changed to try and justify things. Yeah, sure, you say you created a new term, so it refers to a new concept. You created a new concept and you need to apply a new term, but then it becomes set in stone. Oh, we're not evicting you, we're doing nothing wrong. Legally, we can evict you, but why? Only because you call it exclusion, and then you say, oh, it's you don't have any rights for being excluded. So no, this is not acceptable. This is not acceptable at all. I'm going to try uploading this one straight away, but I'm not getting pains everywhere to run this cold water. I'm just checking something. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I've got pains everywhere. Except my back's not doing too bad for once, and my neck is doing it. No, it's going to start jerking now that I'm talking about it. But my hands and my legs and my knees. Uh, I need to continue with my battle plan. Well, I made myself too conscious of my neck. The tension builds and the jerking continues. Yeah. Need to stop recording for a bit, I think. Yeah.